yeah, God is good.
I can agree with you 100%, bro. I think my faith life going in was really strong, really, really strong. And I think the beauty and the ideal behind what we were thinking we were going to do and what we felt like we're called to do is so beautiful. And I think after a little bit of time and a lot of just kind of the repetition, the kind of calls you see, just some of the darkness you see out there too, and the darkness you're kind of around, and the culture that kind of like, you know, the first responders have, it erodes away kind of like the Christian, I guess, beauty that you have in your mind.
Yes.
And
yes,
it erodes away, and you become angry, you become tired,
definitely, dude.
you become exhausted, and it flows into every aspect. It flows into prayer life. I think one of the biggest things that really affected me was my prayer life.
Oh, dude,
I come home sometimes. For days I just don't even think about praying.
Yeah.
I just go on my day, and my relationship with God. Like, I just remember, like, before I got on the job, I was like, oh, I love adoration. Adoration was kind of like, it's a good time for me to get away, really, just to be with Christ. But then after a while, I was like, adoration's so dry. So dry. I sat there for an hour, even 45 minutes. I'm like, when is this going to end? My mind's racing over so many different things. I'm exhausted. My patience has gone to zero, gotten super low. And it's those things where I sit back and I didn't know this happened until there was a moment where, like, oh crap, I'm here. I'm at the level where my prayer life is weak. My spirituality is weak.
Yes.
My desires have changed. Who I thought I was has changed. And it's difficult, and it's different, and it's kind of hard to look yourself in the mirror and see, like, wow, I've changed in a way where I didn't necessarily want to change into.
Yes.
And I thank God. I think this last Easter really had an impact on me, really, to come back to Christ. Really had eye-opening moments, and really was called back to, like, really to come back to Him and say that, hey, I called you to this. Allow me to be present in what you're doing. Don't cut me out. Allow me to be present in what you're going through so I can help you in this. And that's helped me a lot. And I'm still coming out of that phase. Honestly, I'm not. I'd say my faith has changed comparatively to when I was single, on fire, doing all these crazy asceticisms, doing all these things. My relationship has changed now, but God is saying, allow me to grow in that with you. And it's been beautiful. It's been beautiful, but it's also a lot of struggles too, a lot of difficulties, and I can share with you in that.
Yeah, dude. I think, like I said, man, when you accept Christ in your life, it's not going to be easy. It's not. You look at the apostles and all that. Apostles, am I saying right?
Yeah, apostles.
Yeah, you seen what they went through, and I mean, they didn't have to have an easy life, man. And I think, man, I'm being honest. I think that's what I'm kind of yearning for is kind of getting that relationship back with Christ. You know, I think especially with just all the teams and just your coworkers, you see a lot of just temptation of easy sin, you know, when it comes to pride, when it comes to lies, when it comes to jealousy and lust and all that kind of stuff. Like, you start to see all this evilness, you know, like, it's so easy to, like, I don't know, I was talking to you earlier. I remember, I don't know, I think it was a phone call when you asked me, like, hey, you want to hop on this podcast? And I was like, man, it's hard. It's hard to, like, be a good Catholic man in these kind of, like, first responder jobs and stuff like that, man. It's hard.
I don't mean to sound like gloom and doom, but the reality is you are responding to the worst of the worst in society. Mm-hmm. You are in situations where majority of people don't want to be in, and that's your everyday, and that's your job. I always have to remind myself, like, I do this so, like, my wife doesn't have to deal with it. I do this so my best friends don't have to deal with this.
Yeah.
I do this because I want my communities to be safe. I want the people around me to be safe, and the people who I serve to be safe. This is why I'm doing it. But in that, you get lost, and you can get lost real quick, and it can kind of overtake you slowly, little by little by little by little. And next thing you know, you've kind of look in the mirror again, like I said, and you're just a different person.